he or she will get all the vitamin A that they need. Did you know this? Beta-carotene turns into vitamin A in the body. And in research studies, they will generally use maybe about 30 milligrams per day, which is the amount in 2 large carrots, maybe about 1 yam. Also, a diet rich in green vegetables can give you that. So aim for about 30. Aim for about the equivalent of 2 carrots a day. Now, I do have one caution for you. A lot of people will say, why do I have to eat carrots? I can go to any health food store and they'll sell me beta-carotene in a bottle. Well, researchers thought that too. They figured, people won't change their diets, let's just give them pills. Well, it didn't work out so well. There were 2 research studies among smokers. Smokers are at high risk of lung cancer, so let's give them beta-carotene. Let's see if this protects them. It had exactly the opposite effect. The smokers who took beta-carotene pills had higher risk of developing lung cancer compared to the men who didn't. And the researchers were so shocked by this, they had to stop the research study. When they looked at the data, here's what they found. Those individuals who got more beta-carotene in foods had protection. If they got it as pills, they got worse. Now, we don't know why, but here's what I believe happened. Here's what we're speculating. Is that if you take just one nutrient and you take a huge amount of it, that it might interfere with the absorption of others. But if you get it in food, you're getting these nutrients in the proportions that nature had in mind for you. Now, it's not just beta-carotene, it's also lycopene. Lycopene is the red coloring, as we were talking about, watermelon, pink grapefruit, especially tomatoes. Salsa, yep. Salsa, ketchup, these have lycopene in it, believe it or not. They're not necessarily health foods, but they're there. And what do? They park in the cell membrane, the free radical comes along, they attack the carotenoid, not you. Now, vitamin E is also similar. Vitamin E will park in the membrane, and vitamin E is a powerful antioxidant. However, this one I'm going to make a little bit of an exception on. By that I mean more is not really better. I don't like the idea of having a huge amount of vitamin E in your diet, and here's why. Researchers years ago studied premature babies. Little babies are really at risk of free radical damage. Their little lungs are taking in oxygen for the first time, and they really can't handle it. So researchers have used vitamin E compounds as powerful antioxidants, and what they found was that these kids would start to develop infections. Their immune defenses were disabled in part by the vitamin E. So a little vitamin E is good. Get it from foods. I suggest people not go to the store and take vitamin E supplements. So there's one other trick that you can do, though. With regard to vitamin E, if you have vitamin C-rich foods like fruits, citrus fruits, vegetables, vitamin C actually restores vitamin E. Did you know that? You don't even need to take the supplements of vitamin E to have it be restored. Vitamin C-rich foods help sort of recycle and rejuvenate the vitamin E for you. Okay? Now, let's say a word about vitamin C. Everybody knows vitamin C is good for you, but it fights free radicals as well. And if the beta-carotene is in the cell membrane, the vitamin C goes in the watery parts of your body. It's not parked in the membrane. It's free. It's going inside the cell and the watery parts in the cell in case a free radical gets in. And it's between the cells, knocking them out in the bloodstream and other watery parts of the body. And if you have a diet that is loaded with vitamin C-rich fruits and vegetables, you've got your defenses there set. Now, the Canadian research study that I was describing earlier, where women who had cancer were watched to see how they did, it turned out that those women who had more vitamin C in their diets did better. They were less likely to succumb to their condition, which will not surprise you by now. Well, how much? They didn't have to have a huge amount. It turned out that those women who had 200 milligrams or more of vitamin C in their diet had about double the survival odds compared to those who had less than 100 per day. Now, 200 is not a lot. You can get that by having a diet that's rich in vegetables. And one orange has about 60 in it. If you have typical vegetables, they'll all add to it, and you can take supplements if you want to. I don't believe there's toxicity to vitamin C supplements for you. So, if you put these all together, you'll have a diet that's rich in vegetables and rich in fruits, and you'll get the beta-carotene and the vitamin C that you need. Now, let me add some other pieces of this puzzle. You know about broccoli? Brussels sprouts, cauliflower, they're in a group called the cruciferous vegetables. And scientists love these vegetables because they give them a lot of things to study. By the way, the name cruciferous means cross-like. The flower has sort of a little shape of a cross. So this will be broccoli, cauliflower, kale, Brussels sprouts, and many, many others. And what do? They work in the liver to sort of tune up the part of your body, the enzymes in your body, that eliminate toxins. They're called, I'm going to get a little bit complicated here, and this will not be on the test. You have inside your liver different kinds of enzymes that are there to recognize things that aren't supposed to be in your body. The phase 1 enzymes begin the process of eliminating toxins. The phase 2 enzymes actually carry toxins out of the body. They clamp them onto a carrier molecule and pull them away. It's just like a criminal. You take the handcuffs, put them on, attach them to a police officer who carries them away. That's what the phase 2 enzymes do. Broccoli increases the activity of these enzymes very, very rapidly. If you have broccoli today, and I don't mean just like one little floret. I mean, if you have a normal good serving of it today, and if you keep that up, you'll find within 24 to 48 hours, the activity of these phase 2 enzymes is greatly increased. Now, there are a few things that I'm suggesting we want to avoid. And we've talked about fat. Researchers are concerned about fat, and you know what? They're right. Researchers have found that fat interferes with the immune system, and the experiments are heroic. They'll take volunteers, they'll feed them high-fat diets. They'll hook them up to an intravenous and drip fat into their bloodstream. And then, I'm not kidding, don't volunteer for these experiments. What they do is they then pull some of their blood cells out, mix them with cancer cells, and they watch. How fast do the white blood cells chew up and destroy the cancer cells? That gives you a good clue as to whether you have good or bad immunity. Well, the more fat that gets into your bloodstream, the more your white blood cells have trouble doing their job. They just can't work in an oil slick. Okay? So you get the fat out of your diet, your white blood cells will thank you. Now, the good kind of diet would be rich in vegetables and fruits, and it wouldn't have the fat in it, wouldn't have the meat in it. So what happens if I'm following that kind of diet? Well, at the German Cancer Research Center, they did exactly this test. They took a group of vegetarians. They thought, you aren't eating any meat and you're probably eating a lot of vegetables. Let's test your immunity. They tested something called the NK cell, natural killer cell. This is a white blood cell that is a natural killer. It shoots first and asks questions later. If it finds a cancer cell, it gobbles it up. You want them. And what they found was that the vegetarians had about double the NK cell activity compared to the non-vegetarians, meaning their cells are vigilant. They're looking for cancer cells. They're trying to knock them out. So what we've seen is that a diet that's rich in vegetables and fruits, along with the grains and beans, it's good for immunity. It's good against cancer, and it's good for overall health. Thank you very much.
Our deep appreciation, Dr. Neil Barnard, for starting the Cancer Project to inform people how a plant-based diet is superb protection against cancer and a host of other diseases. May you continue your important contributions to the advancement of public health for many years to come. For more details on the Cancer Project, please visit www.cancerproject.org. The 2-set DVD, Eating Right for Cancer Survival, and The Cancer Survivor's Guide, a free-to-download ebook, are available at the same website.